You've heard Jesus say it 100 times. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. 4 simple words about taxes. Except it was never really about taxes, because the coin in his hand that day carried a message so offensive that, for a devout Jew, simply pulling it out of your pocket inside the temple was an insult to God. Let me show you what was actually stamped on it. Welcome to the world behind the word. Today, how money actually worked in Jesus' day, the coins, the currencies, and the hidden rules that turn a dozen familiar stories into something you've never quite seen. Because once you understand the money, you understand the trap they set for him, and the answer that sprang it. Picture a marketplace in Jerusalem. It's loud, it's crowded, and it runs on at least 3 different kinds of money at the same time. In one stall, a merchant weighs a Roman denarius, silver, stamped with the face of the emperor. In the next, Greek drachmas change hands. And in your own purse, small bronze coins, leptons, the humblest money there was. 2 of them together weren't worth a single hour of work. To us, money is money. To them, every coin carried a nationality, a loyalty, and sometimes a god. And which coin you used and where you used it mattered enormously. Start with the Roman denarius. This 1 silver coin was roughly a full day's wage for a laborer. Remember that, and the parable of the workers in the vineyard suddenly makes sense. The men hired at dawn and the men hired an hour before sunset all received the same single denarius. It wasn't a random number. It was exactly enough to feed a family for a day. Jesus' first listeners felt the fairness and the scandal instantly. But Roman coins created a problem. Look closely at a denarius from Jesus' lifetime, minted under the Emperor Tiberius. Around the portrait runs an inscription naming him the son of the divine Augustus, a god. And on the back, he's called High Priest. To a faithful Jew, that was 2 commandments broken in silver, a graven image of a man, and that man claiming to be divine. You could spend it in the market, but you could not give it to God. So when pilgrims came to pay the temple tax, they couldn't use it. The temple accepted only one currency, the silver shekel of Tyre, prized for its purity, which meant every pilgrim had to exchange their money first. Enter the money changers, who took a fee on every transaction. That is the scene Jesus walked into and overturned. Not because exchanging money was evil, but because a house of prayer had become a house of profit. And now the smallest money of all. In the temple courts, Jesus watches the wealthy drop large sums into the treasury. Then a widow steps forward and gives 2 leptons, those tiny bronze coins, the least valuable currency in circulation. Almost nothing. And Jesus says she gave more than all of them. Because they gave from their surplus, she gave everything she had to live on. You only feel the weight of that story when you know just how little 2 leptons were worth. So now go back to that trap. The Pharisees and the Herodians come to Jesus with a question built to destroy him. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar? Say yes, and he betrays his own people to Rome. Say no, and he's an enemy of the empire. There is no safe answer. So Jesus says, "Bring me the coin," and they produce a denarius right there in the temple. Notice what just happened. His accusers are carrying the idolatrous coin in the holy place. He hasn't said a word yet, and they've already exposed themselves. Then he asks, "Whose image is this?" "Caesar's," they answer. And here is the key that unlocks everything. The word for image is icon, the very same word the scriptures use in the beginning when God makes humankind in his own image, his icon. So when Jesus says, "Give to Caesar what bears Caesar's image, and give to God what bears God's image," he isn't only talking about a coin. The coin carries Caesar's face, so give it back to Caesar. It's his. But you carry the image of God, so give yourself to God. The tax question was never the real question. The real question was, whose image are you stamped with? And to whom, then, do you belong? That's the thing about money in the Bible. It was never only about money. Every coin was a small statement of allegiance, whose face you carried, whose kingdom you served. And Jesus takes a trick question about taxes and turns it into the deepest question you can ask yourself. Caesar's image was on the silver. God's image is on you. The question he leaves hanging in the air is simply this: are you living like it? If you knew what was on that coin, you'll never read that story the same way again. And that's the whole point of this channel. If you want to keep stepping behind the word with me, subscribe, and I'll see you there.